a little bit after 5:30, I'm sorry. Today is November 19th, 2025, and we're having the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting for the city of Wilmington. First order of business is a public comment period, but seeing none here, we'll dispense with that. Next order of business is approval of the October 25 minutes. Hopefully everybody has a copy. Few minutes if you haven't looked it over. Any corrections or amendments to the minutes from October 15th? Hearing none, a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Move to Root, second.
Second.
By Ron. All in favor, say aye.
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 Good. All right. Next, new business, nothing really on the agenda, and we don't have any staff with us tonight, right? Okay, good. So we'll just move into old business and
We don't have any guest speakers.
y'all had a chance to go out there. I was out there, but the Greenfield Park Centennial celebration I thought was really pretty cool. So recap. Sally and
Well, yeah, you mind?
I could do it.
Well, yeah, you too.
It was well attended. I think we estimated a couple of hundred at the events at the Rotary Wheel, which included the remarks by officials, the announcement of the time capsule, the collection of items from the public for the time capsule, the Rotary's plan for their improvements at the wheel, and the various tables that had set up there and activities. I think that there were 300 people at the concert, so we were pleased with that number. I drove to the other side of the lake when I was leaving, and it was slamming over there. Pickleball clinics were off the charts, as well as the skate park clinics and the paddle boats. So I didn't really see an open parking space on that side of the lake. So hopefully a lot of people came out who don't usually come to the park and will return. But yeah, we consider it a success, and we thank all of our partners who helped us pull it off.
It was a good time. I was
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. It really was. Yeah, so it was good. A lot of mayor and a lot of the public officials came out and spoke and everything, and so I thought anybody who went out there could really see. And I gotta say this too, thanks to staff, because you know the Rotary Wheel Garden, we as a Rotary Club try and maintain it, but they on their own went out and they mulched all of those flower beds where all the drainage were, and it just really looks great out there now. It really does. We got a little bit of attention to it, so thank you for that. Okay, so now, yeah, the annual work plan, we're gonna break out for 20-minute sessions.
Yes, if you, and the other thing that you had wanted to do is look at the open space
You wanna do
preservation.
that first?
So it's kind of your call if you want to do that first and then break out.
That first, because actually there's two things on that. One of the things that staff kind of challenged us, and it's part of one of our work goals too, was to look at all the remaining open spaces in the area and make recommendations that staff can bring to council, say that, hey, you know what? We should, really try and preserve this, acquire it, whatever we have to do, and keep this as green space. I know staff came to us and identified a couple of different properties behind Maids, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
between Maids Park and the police and fire training
Yeah.
facility off of Hurst and Evans
Yeah.
streets.
And really what I was really hoping, not to spend a lot of time doing it, but the link that they sent this to us, I know it was a little tough to navigate to. So just to kind of show us how to get to that link, and then we can do our own homework and then come back and discuss it, some areas.
Yeah,
So,
it's tricky. So the main thing to know is that you don't need a username and password to get in there. It says that you do, you just bypass that.
okay.
And if Sally wants to show that, I
So-
can also show it as well.
I'm trying to see, it should give you, when you click the link.
Does everybody have the link from that email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I remember you were the one who kind of spun, who came back. and-
Keep clicking.
So this is what pops up. You just press cancel. You just, whenever you
couple-
get a pop-up box, you just keep pressing cancel and scroll down and you'll be let in.
yes, you'll,
I did see that news article on TV3 about something. It seemed like they may have had the wrong location. Did y'all see that? It was talking about like 120 acres, and there were some people that were pushing back on it, saying that they weren't aware of it. Y'all see that article on the news?
I'm not familiar with it.
Wait, the city was gonna purchase this property?
Yes.
or-
This it just came up kind of as a rumor,
Ah,
and then it seemed like news may have ran with it,
yeah.
but it didn't seem like they knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, the city hasn't announced the parcel that they are
Oh.
performing due diligence on, that they have applied to the endowment for, and the endowment has conditionally awarded that grant. The county at their last, or 2 meetings ago, approved $1 million towards, the purpose. The city has had a resolution approving $1 million towards, and then the endowment providing the rest. So tentatively, the contract to purchase is gonna be on the December 4th city council meeting. Typically, there's no business at the December meeting in an election year, but they wanna, if that can be ready to go, they're gonna put it on that December 4th meeting. If not, it'll go in January, but because they're still performing due diligence, they haven't announced where it is. So anything that you're seeing in the media is just rumors and speculation.
So that there's no contract yet.
No, still in the diligence phase. So yeah, so if you go to the link that we sent you and you get that pop-up box that asks you to enter a username or password or email, just hit cancel and continue to scroll down and you'll get to this map. And, you can hover over and, see the various pieces of information, acreage, tax value, etc.
Are we looking only for at the areas that are city owned, which I think is right?
You can look at anything.
Well,
I mean, you can propose anything, knowing that the city doesn't, really have a budget to purchase private property at this time, but if there's something that is owned privately that because of its characteristics environmentally, in a watershed, in an area where we don't have a lot of public parks, that's fine. If you see something that just sort of sticks out to you as, but again, we only challenge you to come up with up to 3. And, you voted up to support Halliburton already. So that's 1. We've suggested Hearst. So that's 2. And we've also, sort of talked about 10th and Fanning as well, that's city owned. So, if you go by the goal that you adopted, your work is done, but if you want to keep, this map is a great tool, so there could be others out there. We're not gonna discourage you from identifying other areas. We just wanted to help you because without our input, it seemed like kind of a daunting ask of you.
One thing I'd be interested in, I don't know if the city's ever done this, is take an existing, say there's something like an old bus station or something that's existing concrete parking lot facility and turning that more into some sort of park space versus taking the green space that's already wooded or wooded areas or something like that,
Right.
trying to repurpose something
Yeah.
that existing is not. green
Absolutely,
space.
redevelopment.
Yeah.
Get a
That's
lot of,
interesting.
hear a lot of chatter about people wanting a dog park in the downtown area.
So do we. I think one is needed.
Yeah.
Not a lot of space
Mhm.
downtown to put one, but if you can find something that you want to
It's
propose.
supposed to be dog friendly, right?
Well, apparently they were using it and got told they couldn't use it anymore.
Did you say Riverfront Park?
Live oak.
Yeah, love it, Riverfront Park.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely, people still use that park for their dogs, and that's great, we love that. It's just that a lot of people had their dogs off leash there, and there were some dogs that were misbehaving. And so we tried to remind people that the county has a leash law. And so we suggest that they follow that law. But in terms of a designated dog park that is fenced in and its sole purpose reason for being as a dog park, do you think that there's one lacking downtown? The challenge is to find a suitable parcel. with where to put
I don't
it.
even know, does MP still have the dog?
Oh, yeah, it's very popular. Yeah, so there's one at MP, the county has one at Hugh McRae. I think they have one at Ogden Park as well, and then there's one in Carolina Beach. But with the density of downtown, I think that there's a need, but again,
There's a small parcel of land, I think it's next to Yalfox and Mannon on Fifth Street. That comes up as being owned by the city. It looks like maybe it's a parking lot or something right now, I'm not sure.
can you pull that up?
It's on Fifth.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just vacant land, but
Yeah.
it's right beside the parking lot I mean, I think part of,
It's, see if I have the,
What's the cross street?
it's Fifth and.
it'd be like Fifth and, it's the other side of Princess and more to Chestnut maybe.
Oh, on that end.
Yeah.
Fox and,
It's right next to Yalfox and Mannon.
yeah,
They-
and they're right on the corner of Fifth and Chestnut, yeah. So it's down Fifth from that.
This helping?
Go
Let's
Go,
go north?
I gotta get my bearings where you are.
It looks like something vacant right there at Princess, just, yeah, right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's right there on the, I don't think it's that, I
Yeah,
think it's the.
it's not, the vacant lot's not on the corner.
It's right next to Yalfox and Manning, which is that weird looking, the brick building with the dormers on the right hand side of the street.
This,
Oh, so behind it?
No, the other way. I think it's
Where's
this.
Fourth and Chestnut? You see,
This.
yeah, to see yourself a little.
Or maybe it could also be this. It's not very big, but
Mhm.
how big does it have to be?
It doesn't have to be that big.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
this?
there it is.
There you go.
So it looks like it's private. land.
Yeah.
No, well, shows red, one of those areas shows red on that map, like it's owned by the city. And maybe it's on the other side of YFM.
Yeah, that's the loft, it's right there on the right, and that's.
So do they own that whole park?
I don't know.
So it's at Chestnut Fifth.
Anyway, that's.
Well, And so what I'd like to suggest is that when we come back in January, the maid suggestion, tenth and family, no urgency on that, huh? Like we needed to get. So let's kind of plan and get on the agenda to talk specifically about those two. And then everybody, now that we know how to navigate it, come back with addresses, location, we can pull it up here and we can talk about it and everything. Okay, so if we can do that, and kind of do that from time to time.
Can I ask another question
Yeah.
about conservation easements?
Sure.
Does the city do conservation easements or do they enter into one on someone's existing property if they were
Didn't
interested?
work the first time I.
The city doesn't, have conservation easements, but we partner with organizations who do. So, for example, the Stanley Reader Carnivorous Garden, Pine Ridge Nature Preserve, that is a conservation easement. The property is owned by the Oleander Company, but the, North Carolina Land Trust, or Coastal Land Trust has a conservation easement over that. So private property owner with Coastal Land Trust conservation easement with the city park on top of it. So that's an example. Yes, we do partner with the organizations for conservation easements.
Okay, well, good. So that brings us to work plan.
Correct. So on your agenda, the committees are defined
Oh, okay.
and each committee has a chair. So if you'd like to spend some time, your goals, which I'll pop them up on the screen so you can see them, are also on your agenda in this blue. And if you'll just spend some time with your committee going over your goal and talking about how you might want to advance them.
Yeah, so just as a reminder, I think at the last meeting or the meeting before, we had asked y'all if you prefer to work in your subgroups away from this meeting, which requires additional time on your part. Do you want to work together via email and try to advance and come up with action steps that way and convene here, or do you want to do all your work here? And so I think that we heard that you prefer not to add additional time with your subcommittees away from this meeting. So that's why we had time to devoted today for you to work on action steps towards your goals. But you can also change that too. And if you want to decide today, maybe steps that you want to do away from the group via your own work and through email and come back, however you think your time is most productive, but that's what we were trying to.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking logically through it. For the flow of the meeting, we'd all have to decide that all the committees are gonna do the same thing. And like one committee say, I wanna have some time
Right.
just to be here
Right.
and we're gonna do
Right.
email, so yeah.
The best if you decided as a group.
Okay, so we'll get together. Yeah, Ron.
I say, I don't know how
Who's
the,
on?
we're lucky you're here. I don't know how.
We've got Demetrius and
Who was Alexa's on?
sorry, pop it back up.
And then, and Sam, yeah.
Rhonda.
Yeah, we're gonna do it via Zoom.
Yeah, Ingrid is not online, I don't think.
I'm sorry, y'all probably didn't hear me. This is Demetrius. Rhonda and David and I, we're gonna do it separately after this meeting is over with. We're gonna do it via Zoom regarding the goals of the student committee.
I don't think it's putting on the agenda for last.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that would make sense. Heard what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on the agenda for last, so, those who want.
Those who want to stay do it and those who don't show.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
We're almost there anyway.
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have a lot.
Wow, yeah, we are there, yeah.
One question I had about the student involvement mission. Now, when I first came on the committee, we had a student working here doing our project for the university. And I'm wondering, probably more question for Amy, does someone in the city infrastructure have a liaison with UNC that could give us an inroad to meet with him? And talk about our committee and how we could use, somebody that is working, say, on their masters, or I think that's what that lady was doing when we had a student years ago. Ingrid would know, but I don't know how we got the connection. Is that something?
Probably
city-
through this board because we've had a history of being lucky enough to have a lot of UNCW professors that have served on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee over the years. And so they're typically our conduit. Obviously we get UNCW students time to time as interns, but we don't have a position within human resources that is specifically assigned to be a liaison with UNCW or CFCC.
Has that ever been thought about? Cause town gown kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we have programs, Department of Housing and Neighborhood Services has a community relations committee that meets quarterly with UNCW, staff and student body to discuss town and gown type issues, but someone whose whole role is to liaison with various higher
That'd be
higher
interesting.
education agencies.
Because, I mean, only way I can see it is someone having having valence for a grad student. I mean, I understand college kids ain't gonna just come to our committee because it's interesting stuff in the town they go to college in, but I mean, if they had
We can ask our staff. I mean, our staff uses a lot of volunteers from UNCW. We can definitely ask our staff for a
Okay.
suggestion.
So that's actually one of the potentially tasks that your committee could take is to set up a meeting with our staff, because we do have an intern right now from UNCW, I think, in our athletics program. I think that's accurate. So I think it would be really informative for the committee to meet with our recreation staff, understand the level of engagement that's already happening, and then decide what are the logical next steps. Zach might know a little bit about UNCW too.
So, Zach, are you connected with UNCW over there?
They are my employer.
Arms length.
So I think yes.
For the last 21 years. It's a tenuous line, but it is.
Well, is it Rhonda as well?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Okay, well, staff, you'll see which you might be able, your staff that may know some connections or something and get back to them. Is that what kind of heard?
I think the committee needs to let us know if they want to meet with somebody and what time and when, and we could set that up, certainly.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay. Staff report? Or, no, chair report, huh? Yeah. Just real quick, couple of things, Fifth Avenue is really coming around, they've got lines and everything down for the lanes to make it one lane. I saw, one thing I was surprised, I thought it was gonna be no parking, street parking on Fifth. But it looks like they've lined off that street parking.
Yeah,
will-
street parking will remain. Not everybody has a driveway
Yeah.
on that, so it'll be online parking, bike lane,
Yeah.
one travel lane, north and south.
Was thinking,
Got them
the
too.
bike lane looks really good, it's wide and everything, it really is, yeah, so that's.
Is it blue? I mean, that always helps in metro areas for drivers to see even if it's narrow, a different colored lane.
No. they're
White right now, I know that.
Yeah, I know that's a standard in a lot of cities. Right now, it's not a standard, with the city. And that's probably due to
It's just that
ongoing
idea of-
maintenance.
It's not a regulation, but nice idea. They're green in Seattle. And green. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're-
it seems like the more compressed the city becomes, which, Wilmington's getting like that. The more effective they are visually at keeping drivers interfacing with cyclists.
And the only other thing, this is really kind of related to committee that I'm on with Zach and Ron, the engagement committee. It's kind of exciting, right? We got 3 new council members, so to get them out here, invite them and get them engaged and everything. So it's, some stuff that we can work on to try and get them here. I think would be good and show them what we do and that type of thing, their support. The only other thing, and just to share with you, and because I've worked so hard with so much with staff, with Amy and Ron and her staff, the Rotary Wheel Garden is basically supported right now by the Rotary Club and obviously by staff as well. But there is an effort in place to really do a transformation and a total redesign of that garden to really make it a crown jewel and namesake. Well, a breakthrough that happened that I'm really proud of is that now the Cape Fear Garden Club is joining in that collaboration. So we've got one of the biggest Rotary clubs in town and the Cape Fear Garden Club who are real excited about this project. So it's going to take a while. There's a lot of things to do, but it really could add and be a good gift to the city, by really improving that gardening part. So thanks to Amy for all her support.
I don't know anything. Terry, have y'all reached out to the Cirrhosis Club?
No,
They're
What club is that now?
cirrhosis,
Cirrhosis?
not liver of, but
Oh, okay.
I know they have an unfortunate name. They're a women's civic club that are celebrating their 130th
Oh, wow.
anniversary this year.
Okay.
And they actually had an integral role in Greenfield Park coming to be Greenfield Park,
Oh, wow.
which I honestly came to know pretty late. And but I have had some recent conversations with their leadership. They were at the Centennial So I can, share contact information if you, because they may be interested
Yeah.
in, that would be another resource.
Good, thank you, good. Okay, but yeah, that's really about it for me as far as a chair report, so, turn it over to Sally.
Thank you. Just a quick update. I'd sent out recruiting for the holiday parade to get some expert judges for our parade and got 3 right away, Zach, Joe, and Ingrid. I really appreciate it. If anybody else would like to join, please come on down. We'd love to have you. It's a wonderful night and we're looking forward to it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, so the only thing else, open to the board, anything anybody needs to like to bring up or comment about?
Parks are beautiful this time of year. Wade Park is my favorite, and just
Oh,
the
yeah.
colors and,
Mhm.
I mean, it gets you fired up for why your trips down here for these committee meetings. Try to
Yeah.
help out here to keep this going.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Any update on bike regulations or the bike signs? There's still a lot of speeding going on.
No, so we did not receive the grant from the WMPO for and it's really because some federal guidelines have changed in terms of the particular grant that we applied for. The NPO is a little bit uncomfortable right now with what those funds are. They seem to be changing what is an eligible expense, and they're looking at some jurisdictions they've funded, not with this new safety and etiquette program, but other signage. And so they just didn't want to go out on a limb and then have to take something away. So, but they're identifying another grant opportunity, and in terms of the entire package that they're developing, that Sally's been instrumental in helping with, it's coming to an end. I forget the latest piece of information that I got from Abby, but they're real close to finishing that up.
So the MPO has met with the member jurisdictions and showed us some sample drafts of what the signage could look like and gotten feedback from us. So they're creating a toolkit that all of the different jurisdictions can use so that we have continuity across our trail system. And we will definitely bring that to this board for you to see and provide some feedback on as well before we take any steps to actually implement.
But it's got a lot of steam behind it still,
Yeah.
so don't think that it's falling off the table.
And what about regulations for what's a moped, what's a bike, what's?
I think what we're leaning towards as a city is just establishing a speed limit. And that way we don't have to get into the complexity of the different size motors in the bike, and what is an e-bike, and what is it okay if you're pedaling versus not? It just makes it so much more simpler for the public to grasp and for the city to enforce if we establish a speed limit. So
How do you?
that'll be the city. We probably at a future meeting should have Linda Painter, our planning director, come and present on not a new concept, but a new strategy in terms of traffic calming and neighborhood traffic management that we've recently adopted. I think at one of the October City Council meetings, or maybe September, called Vision Zero, which is a worldwide strategy and sort of framework with lots of methodology that the city has adopted in terms of we want to increase safety and increase neighborhood traffic management, speed humps, chicanes, other infrastructure that helps to train vehicles to slow down. And it's a holistic concept. So what we're looking at in terms of and what really falls into our wheelhouse in terms of bike and ped falls into that entire holistic concept. And so they're actually going out and doing some public meetings right now on Vision Zero. And so if you're interested, we can have Linda come and present that whole concept to y'all at a future meeting.
I would be interested.
Amy, how do you measure a bike's speed? That one you were talking about, I mean, going by that standard, and I'm just, how did,
Most e-bikes have a speedometer on
Yeah.
them. I mean,
Right.
yeah, but
I
I mean,
mean,
that's how you gonna see it, I mean,
A
you think
police
about it,
officer can go out there and clock somebody with a gun, right?
I don't know. Really, I mean,
Sure they can. Now, our police officers in the police department who's severely understaffed, are you gonna see them out on trails doing that?
I got you, I
Yeah,
understand.
no, but there's really no great way to enforce it, and that it seems like the simplest, and that you can't, I think it's easier for an officer to be out there with a speed gun versus trying to look at a bike that's going by and judging whether it is
You would never hear the end of that argument. You know, prove it, and.
That was, how fast you're going and then it hit you ran.
Yeah, we have those. We own those. So those are a great deterrent. And yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. It's sort of like the code that the city has that you must pick up after your dog. Now, are we actually able to go out there and enforce that? And, not really, but can we put enough communication out there to scare people into thinking we might be out there trying to enforce it? You do what you can.
I think I'll
we could
also,
Put the amount of the fine on the speed limit 15 or whatever we settle at. Put the amount of the fine on there, I mean, I get speeds up to on an open residential road on my back 25 miles an hour, so you gotta limit people, especially the younger.
Well, that was
riders.
another reason why we thought that the speed limit was a good idea, because you have people who are on regular bikes who disregard people's safety as well, including going too fast after other people. So it's applicable to all modes of transportation on the trail. And we don't want to discourage people from using e-bikes on our trails because they're not just for recreational purposes, they're for transportation, commuting purposes. So we want people to use them. We just want people to be behave themselves.
I wasn't at this meeting, but I read the notes. I was curious, the bench project downtown on the Riverwalk, is that moving forward? or
It is moving forward. I think they're gonna start promoting it in January.
Okay.
If I've got that right, yeah.
Good. Anything else? Anybody on Zoom? Rhonda or Demetrius?
No, I don't have anything.
I don't either.
Okay. Well, good. So 6:05. If there's no other business, a motion to adjourn.
Are we doing our committee?
Oh, well, we can do it after.
I mean, I don't care, I didn't know which way you wanted to go.
Yeah. We can do our thing, after we.
Or before you do that, if you want.
Okay.
So moved.
So moved. Okay. Second
Second.
by Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, happy
Have a wonderful
Thanksgiving.
holiday.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Didn't cut you off.